Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Deeja. How are you? And today I will be filming this makeup look. If you'd like to see how I did it, just keep watching. First of all, do my brows with the Brown Microfilling pen by Benefit. I use medium brown first and then I use deep brown after. This is a lip brush by Royal & Nickel Silk Pro Brush. I just put that all over one of my eyes for now. And then use a beauty blender to blend that out. It's better to go in with too little than too much, so build that up until you've got the coverage that you would like. I'm going to take my James Charles palette and dip into this colour, as well as the shade Spartacus from my Kaleidoscopic Dreams palette. So get them on the same brush. Make sure there's no creasing. So from the inner corner, create a line. What you want to do is kind of a over the top of the eye and then flick out shape. So because I've got hooded eyes, I've got to go above my natural crease. The line here is too close to my crease, so it doesn't matter if you mess it up, because we are gonna go back and clean it up later. So now I'm gonna dip into Tutu and make them wink from my Beauty Babe palette, my Beauty Babe Brights palette. Tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna go around the outside. And I'm going to dip into this shade in the James Charles palette, mixed with Drama Queen in the Kaleidoscopic palette. And then buff it out in a circular motion. Back to brush number 2. Don't add any extra product. Just go in circular motions over what you've just done to make sure that you've got the blend. The first colour isn't very blended with the other two, so if you just, without any excess product, just go over circular motions the edge of that purple shade. Take it back, and I want to bring it just in of my outer corner, a bit like liner. There we go. And then continue to buff out that colour. Keep going between those 3 brushes until you get your desired effect. Once you get it somewhere like this, you want to grab some of that white base, and you want to put it on a flat brush. Once you've carved it out, we want to get a dense, this doesn't have a name because I bought it when I was like 15, but a dense, small rounded brush. Grab the shade Prism from the Kaleidoscopic Dreams palette, and then just go basically on top of the white. You can go back in with the first two shades and just clean up around the edges. So that's one eye done. I'm going to go and do the other eye off camera and I'll be right back. The primer that I'm using today is the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. And then I use a Morphe M439 brush, and I just put one pump of the e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation in the shade Espresso. Obviously being careful not to disturb the eyeshadow we've just put down. And I'm going to grab my concealer, but I'm going to grab the shade Deep Olive, the same as last time, and Rich Chocolate, both the same concealer, the Hydrating Camo Concealer, the e.l.f. one. And I'm going to get the darker shade and just do 3 dots under my eye, 2 dots down the side of my nose, 1 each side, 1 in the middle, 2 on the chin, 1 over this bloody burn that I got from my curlers while I was curling my hair the other day. I burnt my face and it scabbed. Well, it scabbed over, and then I was taking my makeup off the next day and I went like this and all the skin like ripped off, and now it's scarring, so love that for me. And then I get the Deep Olive, was it? Yeah, then I get the Deep Olive and I just put a dab in between. I think it makes such a difference using the shade that's basically the same colour as my skin along with the lighter highlight shade. I think it just makes it look so nice. I used to be someone that didn't clean, like I honestly used to hardly ever clean my brushes, but it's actually crazy because it makes such a difference. Like, I haven't cleaned my beauty blender in about 3 days, and I usually clean it every time I use it, but I've just been being lazy, if I'm completely honest. But honestly, it makes such a difference. And it's funny because you don't realise the amount of difference it makes until you've cleaned them. And then cream contour. I used the Juvia's Place cream contour in the shade Congo on a Morphe M224 brush, and I've learnt for the shape of my face, going in a like curve actually sculpts my face better. And then I use the back of the same beauty blender I was using. This is actually, so, fun fact, I absolutely adore the Juno & Co microfiber sponges, but they're like £5 a sponge, and I'm just like, honey. And I know that's not even expensive because obviously the actual beauty blenders are like £17 for one. But it's just like, honey, if I want to use, imagine if I wanted to use a separate one for my concealer, a separate one for my cream contour, a separate one for my powder, a separate one for my, what's the bloody word? eyeshadow base. That's 4. That's £20. That's just ridiculous. And then when they start going a bit janky, what are you supposed to do then? Spend another 20 quid? Insanity. So I got this off of Amazon for, I think it was 4, maybe it was 5, for 12 quid. And yeah, so I like to clean up before I powder, because I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but whenever I try and clean it up after or with the powder, I always fuck it up. And it always looks so powdery underneath, and it's just not a look. Oh, a bit too much. To set though, I'm using the Milk Makeup Translucent, I think it's Deep? Translucent Deep. And I'm just going to grab it. This is an actual Gino & Co sponge. Oh. And I'm just going to do under the eyes. And up the bridge of the nose, chin, basically all the places that I haven't put any contour. But I want to put not loads, but more than necessary. I always just don't do that on my forehead because it's just not really necessary on my forehead. So then after I have blended that out on my forehead, I go and just blend it out the rest of the places. Make sure under the eye, get a bit more if needs be. But when I go back in, I make sure there's really not that much left on the sponge. Blow it, tap it, scrape it, whatever you need to do. So then after I have blended that out on my forehead, I go and just blend it out the rest of the places. Make sure under the eye, get a bit more if needs be. But when I go back in, I make sure there's really not that much left on the sponge. Blow it, tap it, scrape it, whatever you need to do. And then when I blend out these bits, that's when I just take it up, the excess over the contour, just so that it doesn't dull it out, because obviously we don't want to be wasting product here, do we? And then there's always excess in the lid, so I just get that on the sponge and then just make sure everywhere is set down. We're going to take the different P. Louise base. So the first one I was using was Rumour 0. This one is Rumour 3. And we're just going to put a tiny bit on the tip of the beauty blender. It's not even a beauty blender, makeup sponge that we used initially. And we're just going to right up against here. Now I like to do it back to front, so I like to do lightest first, and then we go to the middle one. And by the middle one, I mean the middle shade that we use on the top. The first brush we use, and this colour is going to go right up against, what is it, the waterline. And then you want to take a flat brush, a thin flat brush, a thin angled brush, any brush really that you can do this with. So you just want to take it so close to the lash line, because, well, miss this step out if you're not going to put lashes on. So I take the Revolution Matte Base Powder in P18, and I get that, and I also take this shade as well, mix the two together, obviously tap off the excess, and then I just follow where I put that cream contour underneath. Lovely. Then I'm going to do blush. Oh, sorry, the brush was Morphe E4 for my contour, and then I'm taking, what? It's more or less the same brush, but it doesn't have a name or anything because it's part of the pack that I bought literally years ago. So I take this Revolution Blusher Reloaded Rose Kiss, and I take, honestly, everything is a mixture, and then I mix that with this shade here, because I bought that wanting to wear blush, and I didn't know what shade I needed because I'd obviously never bought it, and I bought it in lockdown, so I couldn't even go to the shop and see what shade I needed. Specifically with this eyeshadow, I tend to put on a bit more blush than usual just to tie in with the eyes. Oh, I always forget this step, and I don't know why. Back to my contour concoction and just going, following the jaw. Because I am starting to get a double chin, and that is not something we want to see. Then we want to grab a Morphe E62 brush, and with the same concoction, really tapping off that excess, contouring the nose. I tend to just follow the natural sides of my nose, but I feel like I don't really contour it, I just bring it back to the face, because I feel like when I've used all the, if I use all of the stuff that I use, like the foundation, the concealer, I just feel like my nose gets a bit lost. So taking the medium brown Benefit micro filling pen, I just go back and make sure my eyebrows haven't got lost, basically. And I've tried so many times to do my brows after like foundation and things, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So I know I'm wasting product by having to go back over them, but I just can't do it. So I'm over it, you get over it too. Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in Glow. My mum bought it for me for Christmas, absolute gem. And I just take literally the tiniest amount, and I go over all the bits where I'm where I will be putting highlighter, and not messily, but not extremely neat. Messier than I would with the highlight, but not so it's not in the right place kind of thing. So literally everywhere. Chin, Cupid's bow, above the brows, the whole fucking shebang. Actual highlighter. This is the Cesar Medias Touch 24K infused highlighter, and because you've just put that base down, you literally need the tiniest amount. Now for lashes, let me grab them. I wore these yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. They are the Daisy lashes from, you're not even gonna be able to see them really, are you? The Daisy lashes, they are from Beauty 1999. Also, excuse my nails, they both of them on separate occasions fell off while I was sleeping, which is brilliant. I'm going to use my lash applicator. Bought this for literally £1 at Primark. Right, I'm going to use my lash applicator that I brought. Is it brought or bought? Someone, I mean, I've been told 1,004 times, but I forget what it is every time. And I found out brang isn't a word. How is brang not a word? Just doesn't make any sense. I brang it with me. What do you say then? I brought it. No, it just is brang, isn't it? Found out gotten isn't a word either. I remember that in school. Traumatised. What do you mean gotten isn't a word? My English teacher told me and I was like, well, fine. It might not be in the dictionary, but you're definitely lying. It is a word. Whether it's slang or not, definitely a word. I actually use the Duo Quick Set Strip Lash Adhesive, which is such a good eyelash glue, but fuck me, it's so like. Also learnt going like this with hot air, makes it dry quicker. Fun fact. Yeah, fuck me, it literally sticks to everything. Like, but ever since I've been using this, I haven't lost a lash because I just stick it to some. Okay, next I like to use setting spray because I like to use setting spray now because I find if I put bottom lash mascara on, it just runs if I put setting spray on afterwards. So I do it now, let that dry down, and then I get my Natural Collection Definition Mascara. £2 this cost me, I'm pretty sure. I can't believe how fucking wonky they are. Time to set my brows. I really do just use soap. Set them. It's not really set. Oh, my camera battery died, so I did, I didn't actually do anything off camera, if I'm completely honest. I finished mascara-ing my bottom lashes, but that's literally it. For the lip, I'm going to put a tiny bit of, is it Riri Woo? Riri Woo. This is old as fuck, but I'm currently at my boyfriend's and I don't have much option. And then this clear lip gloss, I literally bought it from a hair shop. It was £1. There we go. That is the finished look. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, leave it playing, you know, all that fun stuff. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. And have a good day. Bye.